Good evening and welcome back to Allergic to Stupidity. I know that it's supposed to be Thursday's business because it's Thursday and it's the 3rd. So after what we just had, I decided that what by the calendar was April the 1st was actually March the 31st plus 1. And then yesterday, that by the calendar is April the 2nd, was really April Fool's Day because we had a snowstorm when it's supposed to be spring and Easter's right around the corner. However, so today is, I don't know, someday. But right now I just want to rant. A couple of reasons. The first one is, to get the rant off of me, I live surrounded by 40 million trees. And this is the Murphy's Law thing. I have a company, a local company, that does my cutting trees. And for their thing, it's called Westwood. But they're right in the Hamilton Wentworth Guelph area, right? They're not that far but they're really good and they're insured and they're covered by workman's compensation and all the rest of it. So, and I've had them work for me before. So as I was driving to a client today, I noticed them servicing a house. So I stopped by and the guy goes, "Yeah, I remember you. You've got lots of trees." Understatement of the century. So I picked up a business card from him, tucked it in my dashboard, did all my students, came home and pulled up in front of my garage and swore. My neighbors probably very rarely hear me swear that loud because one of the trees I wanted him to come cut down had fallen over and hit my garage. After I just got a new roof on it a couple years ago with a steel roof, like Murphy's Law. However, smile. It's not as much damage as we thought. Mind you, I'm looking at it in the nighttime. That's fine. But my real rant is, with all of these tariffs coming on, and we like to sit there and think, he's just being a bully and he's trying to do this and he's trying to do that. I would like to ask Donald Trump if he understands how much he's embarrassing himself, how much he's making himself look like a fuck-ass fool. Because the gentleman, and I'm sure you've all heard it and seen it, literally put tariffs on islands that are volcanic islands that have nothing living on them but penguins and sea otters. Or seals, pick one of them. That's it. But he's put a 10% tariff on Heard Island and McDonald Island, which are sort of southwest of Australia, almost to the Antarctic. We all want to roll our eyes and go, "Oh, he's such an idiot." There's two other islands. One of them has 5,600 people living on them. They're subsistence literally living off the land and off the sea. That's it. There's 5,600 of them. That's it. I don't know what country they come under unless they're a country on their own. They've got nothing to export, and they have no reason to import. They're getting everything that they need off the land, and yet he put a tariff on them for 10%. And his line is, "Oh, I'm putting tariffs on all those countries that aren't nice to us." Does he understand how much of a fool he's making himself look? And his administration. Like, I can't even sit here and go, he's making the American people look like fools. Because nobody in their right mind is going to blame the average Joe that's sitting there having to deal with them. And the amount of Americans that get on any of my feeds that are going, "We're so sorry, we're so embarrassed, oh my God," that they are embarrassed for themselves. They are apologizing to the rest of the world for what he's doing. We sit there and say he's an idiot. Yeah, he's an idiot. He doesn't understand economics. Get that. But does he understand how much of a fool he's making himself look? Like, he threatens Greenland, sends the second lady up there, who is therefore humiliated to the nth degree because nobody wants to say hello to her at all. They won't let her into the town hall. They won't let her in to the tourist bureau. They won't let her into the cafes. They won't let her into the homes. They won't let her anywhere, to the point that they went up to the military bases at the north end of Greenland just so they could complete this. And then Vance has the gall to say, well, see, this is why we have to improve the security up here for the people of Greenland. Do they not realize how badly they're making fools out of themselves? This is beyond anything. And what I'm afraid for, and in some days I'm honestly terrified, is what the next almost 4 years are going to bring. Because he's only January, February, March, 10 weeks in. That's it. And I give Mark Carney, he said, if the United States doesn't want to lead this world, then Canada will. We'll step up, which is a typical Canadian thing. We sit back, we wait, but when there's a need, we're in there. The more I listened to his tariffs today, the more I went, are you joking me? Irrelevant of what the tariffs are, is that you're making yourself such a fool. And of course, teacher hat goes on, because I'm listening to him on the Rose Garden as making his presentation. As much as I can tolerate listening to that man's voice, reminds me of my mother. There used to be a Canadian politician that if he came on, she left the room because she couldn't even stand to listen to him. That's me and Trump. And as a teacher, I'm going, if that was a presentation in one of my business classes, you'd be losing marks. Not on the information presented, but on the presentation itself, how you're presenting yourself. Are you giving eye to person contact? Are you looking at the people that you're talking to? He would have lost it. He would have lost marks left, right, and center. Because he didn't talk about the facts. He just talked about how mean and nasty the rest of the world is, and we're going to be this, and we're going to be that, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And it was like, you are an embarrassment to your country. And it's going to take a very long time for any of us to trust them again, because if they elected some idiot like that once, what's stopping them from electing another idiot like that again? Okay, folks, you've heard me rant and rave. I hope you have a really good night. Tomorrow's Friday. It's my day off from seeing students. So Thursday's business will be taped tomorrow and be on. Download it tomorrow. Take care, and thanks for listening to me rant. Bye. Take care.